Hi, I'm just going to talk through about how we can do some collision detection, because I was aware that my drawing on the board wasn't very good and it got a little bit confusing. So what I'm going to do is share my screen so you can see what I was trying to draw on the board, and you can watch this if you are interested. So hopefully it's sharing my screen. I drew a little thing in paint, okay, to try and explain what I was trying to draw on the board. So we have our X and our Y coordinates happening here. We also have, I've drawn some objects. Now, I think what I was trying to draw on the board was a bit too simplistic. So I've got 3 objects on the board here. I've got object, I don't really know what I'm doing with object 1, but I wanted to kind of prove where object 2 is overlapping object 3. Now, I think on the board, I was just thinking about bullets going upwards, but this kind of collision detection could be used, you know, from side to side as well. So I thought we'd write it in a general case. Basically, what we want to do, there are 2 places where this, well, there are 4 conditions, aren't there? It's either overlapping from the top or overlapping from the top, or overlapping from the bottom, or overlapping from the left, or overlapping from the right. Now, the code to do that, I wrote in Notepad just to kind of explain what I was trying to do. So the first one, I'll try and make it a bit bigger so that you can actually see what I've written. So let's make it a bit bigger here. Okay, so I'll space it out a little bit. We're basically looking for all the conditions of where it's going to collide. So if I'm just doing object 2 and object 3, I don't use object 1. So if the object 2x is less than the object 3x plus the objects, sorry, we're doing x, which is along, isn't it? Plus the object 3's width. Okay, so that means it's, I don't want to draw my lovely drawing, but that means it's coming in from the side. So it's being so this purple box is hitting the yellow box coming in from the right. Okay, so that is one of them. Then, and we want to check that it's not just coming in from the right, and also that the X, actually let's put a line break here, and also that object X plus its width is greater than the object 1x. So it means it's coming in from this side as well, because that first if statement will also mean if that purple box is over here by my y, so if it's gone that way. So we also want to check that it hasn't gone out the other side. So that's this one here is checking that it's within the left-hand border. And then we also need to do the same thing for the y coordinates. So we're saying if the object 2y, which is the top part of this purple, is less than the object 3, and I'm missing my dot y here, my object y, plus the object 3's height, so it's overlapped at the bottom, and we're checking that object 2, which is the purple one, its y plus its height is still bigger than object 1y, so it's come down from the bottom. Okay, and then if all of those conditions meet, we know that that purple box has overlapped the yellow one. Okay, so what I did, I've already done this in my Space Invaders, but just to show you what it's done. So what I ended up doing was for all of my bullets, I've added a width and height just to make it flexible. I could have hard coded it with 5 and 10, and my aliens were both 30 by 30. So I've added a width and height just so that it makes a bit more sense. And then I have created a function called check collide. Okay, and I'm just going to get rid of this return true and return false for now. Okay, so this is basically that code I just showed you on the notepad rewritten. It's quite a long if statement, and yes, there are probably much more efficient ways of doing it, but I wanted to show that, you know, using decomposition and abstraction, you could get something that worked. So my check collide method is taking, this is inside the bullet class, so it's checking if the bullet has hit the other thing, okay? And then it's doing the whole kind of comparison of X and Y's and widths and all this stuff. And at the moment, it's just printing out collide. Okay, so that's within the bullet. And then I might just delete the bit I've added in here. So I am just going to, I'm just going to comment these things out for now, because I just want to show you that the collide is working. So if I just do print collide, okay, I think we're going to get 2 print collides. So what I've got inside here is, in my array of bullets, I'm also checking, I'm doing another loop through my aliens. Okay, so I'm looping for all my bullets I've got. I'm also having to check through all of the aliens and running a check collide. So remember, the object that I'm checking is a bullet, and then the thing I'm passing to it is the name of the alien. Now, for reasons I will explain later, I've had to change my for loop, because I used to have a for I in range len aliens thing here, but it didn't quite work because I was removing them. Anyway, let's just see if I can get the word collide appearing when it runs. Come on, come on, come on. It will appear in a minute. So my bullets don't go very fast. So if I just press plus, there's my bullet going up, and hopefully it'll hit one. No, it didn't. There we go. You can see underneath it's saying collide, and I'm getting 2 collides there. Oh, okay. At the moment, yeah, this one isn't running because I'm not returning a true or false. But you can see it is over, every time it goes over a alien, it says collide. The reason it's saying it twice is because of my frame rate, because my bullets are going quite slowly, and the time it takes to go over the alien space, you know, it's probably running a couple of times or 3 times. That shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so how do we remove our aliens? So what I did was, up in my check collide, this is where the collide was running, because I want to use check collide in an if statement. Okay, so I want to return a true, yes, it's collided, or a false. So I am putting a return true if it has collided. Otherwise, I'm doing a return false. Now, some of you are probably going, miss, you should have done an else. I didn't want an else, because basically a return true will just stop executing at that point. So you know that if you've got past that point, it must be false. So I'm doing that. Okay, and then I can go down here, which you can kind of see the code I've already added, which was down here. So I'm saying for al in aliens, okay? So for each one of these aliens, I am using it in the bullet that I'm already in. So it's a loop inside another loop, which, yes, could be inefficient if I've got millions and millions of bullets and millions of aliens, but it seems to work all right for now. So let's keep it simple. So I'm saying if the bullet collides with one of the aliens, so this should return a true, and I have no idea why I've got brackets around that. I'll get rid of that to make it hopefully a bit clearer. So if this returns a true, it should print out collide. Okay. Now, to remove a item from an array, there are a couple of ways of doing it. Okay. We looked at pop. We might have mentioned pop before, but pop needs the index of the alien that you've attacked. Okay. Whereas we don't have that in this case. What we do have is the object. Okay. So we can use remove, which will actually remove the object. So that's a slight difference. So if I do aliens dot remove al, that should get rid of my alien that I've just hit. Okay. Let's see if this works. La la la, why have you terminated? Right, let's try again. Don't you love Repellent? I'll stop and I'll start it again. Let's see if this is going to work. I don't think I've broken it because it was just working. Maybe I'll just add some comments in here while I am waiting. So loop through the bullets. Loop through the aliens. And then check if bullet has hit the alien. All right, I don't know why it's not working. Let's just refresh the whole page. No, I want to save my changes. Oh, I'll just refresh it. Let's see if that works. Sometimes REPL just has a funny 5 minutes. Okay, and my gun is nowhere to be seen. It'll appear in a minute. Here we go. So I do left and right, press a space. Hopefully it's going to hit one of them, and there we go. And notice that both my collide messages appear now that my thing is returning true or false. Okay, and eventually I just spam it. But what might be quite interesting is to see if I had lots and lots of aliens, whether or not, hey, killed them all. Okay. So top tip for projects, if you're doing things like that, is don't, I mean, yes, there are other ways of doing collision detection, and that's brilliant. I would say when you're writing up your projects, something even as simple as this layout of how we're doing the collision detection would be really useful, you know, to physically show how you came up with a bit of pseudocode like this would be really useful. And this is like decomposing a sticky problem rather than just going, yeah, it works. You are putting computational thinking principles into getting this to work. Okay, I'll end it now.